Imagine coming home from work or vacation to a spotless floor without having to do a thing. Sounds too good to be true, right? With a robot vacuum cleaner, it can make that fantasy a reality. The benefits are endless, but it can be pricey. So is it really worth it? Although I'm not a robot cleaner expert, I still have a decent amount of experience with one, as I purchased mine roughly 4 years ago. So in this video, I will be sharing my thoughts and what are the pros and cons, so that at the end you can decide whether or not a robot vacuum is the right purchase for you. Pros: time saving. I find that it's such a great time saver. I don't know about you, but with a 9-to-5 job, after I come home, I find that my day is never long enough for the things I want to do. So I feel I shouldn't spend it pushing around a vacuum cleaner. A robot vacuum cleaner frees me from this tedious task and gives me back time that I can use for more meaningful things, like working out, scripting and editing my YouTube videos or reading a book. It's just very convenient for me. Once I set it and switch it on, it completes the rest of the job, leaving me feeling free with a bit of extra time on my hands. Now let's talk about facts. A former Dyson research and development engineer said an average household vacuums for 25 minutes a week. And with that being said, let's calculate how much time I actually saved owning a robot vacuum so far. So 52 weeks times 25 minutes makes around 21.5 hours a year, times 4 makes 3.5 days. I basically saved 3.5 days. This gets even crazier if you start thinking in years. When I continue using a robot vacuum till, let's say, I'm 70 years old, I would save 154 days. This is nuts, right? Makes you really think about how you spend your time. I remember when I was still living with my parents, before owning a robot vacuum, allergies such as hay fever used to affect the quality of my day and even sleep. What I found is, since I started using a robot vacuum cleaner regularly, the allergen load in my home got significantly reduced and my allergies are kept at bay. A great tool for pet owners. As my wife and I have a dog with long hair, she sheds around twice a year, which is a natural process. If you live with furry friends, then you know that feeling of accumulation of hair. And with that being said, a robot vacuum makes it especially quick and easy to vacuum as often as needed. I see a huge difference with how much hair is on our floor when I don't turn on the robot vacuum cleaner for just 2 days. Schedule cleaning. Another pro is that I can schedule my cleaning. It's nice to be able to just program the vacuum to run on select days or at a specific time each day, with special zones so that the floor is generally clean without any human interaction. Storage is a piece of cake. I find that traditional vacuum cleaners are usually hard to store because they are very bulky. Sometimes this is the sole reason why someone or you don't feel like vacuuming. Who wants to deal with taking the vacuum out of storage and then storing it away once they are done? After an intense cleaning session, this is the last thing you want to be doing. Well, I'm very relieved to have said goodbye to this annoyance. Robot vacuum cleaners will store themselves in their docking station, which in my opinion doesn't take up much space. This way they will be stored away and charged for a new cleaning adventure. Double duty as a mop. One thing that's more annoying than vacuuming is mopping. Some robot vacuums can also operate as automated robot mops, like the one I have. My experience with the mopping capabilities has been great. Yes, it is not the same as when I would mop myself, but it's better than nothing at all. Now for the cons, I would start with vacuum proofing is a must. One of the things that sometimes annoys me is that I have to vacuum proof my apartment. Cables, socks, pet toys or other small objects can get stuck in the robot vacuum, just as they would in a traditional vacuum. The difference is that you're not there to pick it up on the fly or go around it, so you need to keep the house more or less vacuum proofed before the vacuum runs. However, there is actually a solution to that. There are robot cleaners that have a camera that navigates really good around objects. I just have an older model that doesn't have this feature, so I'm only sharing my own experience with the robot vacuum that I own. Dustbin needs to be frequently emptied. A traditional vacuum typically has a large container to store dirt, pet hair and other debris that it picks up. A robot vacuum cleaner is much smaller and has a smaller storage container. That means I have to empty it frequently. especially because I have a pet that sheds a lot. But you can still buy a robot vacuum that comes with a built-in bin storage that automatically sucks out the dirt into a bag which can be emptied once a month. You still need a vacuum. Even though the robot vacuum is great at general cleanliness, there are still nooks and corners it just won't be able to get to. Yes, I know I mentioned earlier that owning a robot vacuum will significantly reduce the need to vacuum, but truthfully, I still need to vacuum the old-fashioned way periodically, so unfortunately, I can't just replace or throw away my traditional one. Noise. Oreo, which is by the way the name we gave our robot vacuum, isn't any louder than a traditional vacuum, but in general robot vacuums are slower and tend to run much longer. It would take me about 15 to 20 minutes to vacuum the entire apartment with my Dyson, but robot vacuums generally take 45 minutes or more. That's 45 minutes of vacuum white noise I have to listen to. But a solution to that is you can set your robot cleaner to start cleaning when you are at work, for example, or not at home, which is what we do, so we don't have to listen to the noise when we are at home. What to buy? When it comes to buying a robot vacuum, you can actually go into the store, buy one for $1,000, and at home you will realize that it's actually not that good. What I find weird with robot vacuums is that the best names out there are most likely not the ones you will find in your average store. I guess it's because most of these brands come directly from China and they don't sell to stores. Especially here in Switzerland, the brand you will find in store is iRobot. But I encourage you to stay away from this brand, as you mostly pay for the brand. But the tech they use is outdated and you literally get the same tech for more than half the price with other brands. But I can recommend any robot vacuum from the brand Xiaomi. They have many partner companies like Roborock or Dreamy that do a fantastic job. Same goes for Ecoex, they are also one of the best. I suggest that you get a robot cleaner that has laser navigation and not gyro navigation. This is indicated by the laser, which is spinning on top of the robot vacuum. Only laser navigation allows the robot vacuum to clean efficiently and without missing any spots. Conclusion. As you see, there are many pros and cons. The truth is, we all have different needs and expectations, so it is only natural that you will have to decide on your own if a robot vacuum will be joining your household. So if you will ask me, are robot vacuums worth it? My answer is yes. For my wife and I, we find that it's actually worth it, especially because we do have a dog that sheds. Even though our apartment isn't that big, we still notice a massive difference when we don't use the robot vacuum. And yes, there are certain times or places we have to vacuum ourselves with an upright vacuum. But for us that's not a problem, as that could be maybe once a week. And if you ask me, can a robot vacuum replace an upright vacuum? My answer is not exactly. While a robot vacuum can pick up everyday dust and debris, it's not as strong as an upright one. For this reason, a robot vacuum works best as a complement or addition to your upright vacuum cleaner. The only thing I would like to add is I would actually want to get a newer model that has more features like self-emptying dustbin and a camera, so that it can easily identify and avoid objects. But for now, I find that our robot vacuum is still great and it has minimal upkeep. It just makes our lives easier and meets our general needs. Now, if you have always struggled with waking up at 5 AM, I actually made a video about how I wake up every day at 5 AM with minimal effort. If you're curious, you can check out this video right here. And with that being said, I will see you there. Bye bye.